Hello, welcome back to R-Square's Monday Morning Man. My name is R-Square, and today we are doing Week 16 picks. Do you guys hear that? Guys, where are you going? There is no hope for you, R-Square, for this will be my show soon enough. There you are, guys. Are you okay? You guys just disappeared out of nowhere. I have no idea what happened. Well, I guess we should just get on with the picks, and maybe we'll figure that out later. Let's just go ahead and get started off with Thursday Night Football. We have the New Orleans Saints at the Los Angeles Rams. This is later tonight, where they are heading to SoFi. Saints against the Rams. I'm taking the Rams. Puka Nacua, Matthew Stafford. They're on a hot streak. I'm taking LA over New Orleans. Now we head to the middle slate of game at Saturday. That's right, there's not one but two games on Saturday this weekend. Over half the games are on their own, which I think is crazy. I'm pumped for all of this great week of football. I'm excited. You guys should be too. So we have this game at 4:30. Interesting timing. It'll be on NBC. We have... Wow, there's some weird stations on here tonight. I couldn't even tell you about some of these. But Bengals Steelers is the opening one, 4:30. Bengals Steelers in Pittsburgh. I'm taking Cincinnati. I do think Ja'Marr Chase makes a difference for multiple things. One of the reasons being my fantasy team. But going into these final 2 weeks of fantasy, finished before the playoffs. Finished with a record of 10-5. I'm pretty happy about that. I'm number one in the league, so I'm pretty proud of that one as the semifinals do roll around. But anyway, back on track. Bengals Steelers. I don't think Ja'Marr Chase really matters too much towards the result of this game, so I'm taking Cincinnati over Pittsburgh. Next up, we have the nightcap of that one. I believe. Don't take my word for it. I think it's on Peacock. I think it's on Peacock. It's between the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Chargers on Saturday Night Football for the first time in NFL history that there's been an entire fourth quarter to not have any commercials in it. I'm taking Buffalo over the Chargers. Easton Stick at quarterback for the Chargers, and after his last performance, not too sold that he's actually good. I don't think so. I'm taking Buffalo. Now we open up our Sunday games. Starting at 1 o'clock, we have the Colts and the Falcons up first. I am taking Atlanta over the Colts. I think Taylor Heineke makes a little bit of a point for him to be the starting quarterback. I think Atlanta pulls off the upset over Indianapolis. That's right. I'm taking the Colts to lose one. This is probably my only upset. I'm not doing too many of these. Next up, we have Seattle taking on Tennessee. An interesting matchup. It has been good for the last few years. I don't think so this year. I'm taking Seattle over Tennessee in that one. Especially after Seattle's impressive victory over Philadelphia on Monday night, I'm definitely taking Seattle over the Titans. Next up, we have the Vikings and the Lions. I'm taking Detroit over Minnesota. Nick Mullins at quarterback for Minnesota. Don't see him doing too much, so I'm taking Detroit. Next up, we have the Commanders and the Jets. That's right, the Jets take on the Commanders. I read the funniest thing earlier today, and it was like... something about movable objects and something like that. I don't know. But the worst ranked defense in the NFL taking on the worst ranked offense in the NFL. Worst defense is the Commanders. Worst offense is the Jets. But the big difference for me is that Jets defense. I got to take the Jets on this one. I think the Jets defense really does help them win this one. Next up, we have the Green Bay Packers and the Carolina Panthers in Carolina. I'm taking Green Bay with a little bit of a rebound week because whether people like it or not, Jordan Love played fantastically against Tampa Bay. 8 times out of 10, you're going to win that game against pretty much any other team that played this weekend. I was overly impressed with how it went for Jordan Love on Sunday, so I do think the Packers come up with the victory over Carolina. Next up, we have the Cleveland Browns against the Houston Texans. C.J. Stroud likely out again, which means Case Keenum's at quarterback. You guys have no idea how much deja vu this last week was bringing me. I'm like, what is going on? We got Gardner Minshew, Mitchell Trubisky, Case Keenum, Joe Flacco all in the field all at once. That's like 4 quarterbacks from 5 years ago. I'm like, what is going on? I am taking Joe Flacco and the Cleveland Browns to beat the Houston Texans in this one. A little bit of an upset. I don't think Case Keenum can get lucky 2 times in a row. I'm taking the Browns over the Texans. Next up, we open our late window of 4 o'clock games with the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Battle of Florida, Part one because I don't think, yeah, it's the only part. Jacksonville has not played Miami. Tampa has not played Miami, so it's Tampa and Jacksonville for the only battle over Florida of the year. I think the Jaguars get a little bit of a rebound. They dig a little deeper for this one. They really weren't playing well against Baltimore. I do think they do come up with the victory against Tampa Bay. Next up, we have the game that no one needs to turn their television to if they're going to watch any of the late window games, which they should because there are two fantastic ones. Just this is not one of them. It's the Cardinals and the Bears. Arizona taking on Chicago. Wow, I have no idea who to pick on this one. I'm taking Chicago just because, I got a good feeling about it. I'm taking Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears over the Arizona Cardinals. Next up, we got America's Game of the Week, and it is not a lie, folks. It is actually going to be an amazing game. It could go either way, with both defenses playing their absolute hearts out. Even though the Dolphins' defense has looked improved over the last few weeks, the Cowboys' defense has been consistently better than the Dolphins. As for offense, the Dolphins' offense has had the opposite. They've been consistently good over the weeks, and the Cowboys' offense has been good as of most recent. But after the Cowboys' tough loss last week, I was gonna pick the Cowboys, but then they got annihilated by Buffalo. I was gonna pick the Cowboys against Miami this week, but now I'm just I'm taking the Dolphins, guys. Fins up. The Cowboys, they do not deserve to be 10-4. What happened? They broke down against Buffalo. Josh Allen threw the ball 8 times. He threw 8 completed passes out of 15 attempted passes. He barely even tried. He didn't have to do anything all game long because the Cowboys just played that badly. I'm off the train. I'm off the hype train right now for Dallas. I'm off of it. I'm taking Miami over the Cowboys. Even if Dallas does win, I'm not buying it, guys. I'm not buying it. Dallas, we're gonna make the Super Bowl because we're just better than everyone else. I'm not buying that. I'm saying Dallas again, disappointment to the NFL for another year. They're just disappointing. They will not win the Super Bowl with that quarterback, with that coach, with that general manager. It's just got to go. They might have 10 wins. They might make it all the way to the playoffs as far as I know, but they lose in the wild card round. What can you do? What can you do? Because you got the cow. What can you do about that? Fire everyone. They're going to be that team. It's been the 49ers for so long. Because they get to the conference championship game and lose. That's just going to be the Cowboys for the next few years. Even for the last 5 years they haven't even made the conference championship game. They're just making the wild card round, saying, you know what, I think it's time to call it quits, and then just stop in the playoffs. So I'm off the type train for Dallas. I'm taking the Dolphins. Anyway, next up is Sunday Night Football. It's the Christmas Eve Classic. It's the New England Patriots and the Denver Broncos. I'm taking Denver. I'm not watching this. I am not watching this. I don't know how anyone can call this the Christmas Eve Classic. I get it. They used to be good maybe 5 years ago when the Broncos actually had something to do. I am taking Denver because they just so happen to be better than the mess that Bill Belichick's cooking in New England. But, I don't want to pick either team to win this one. But if I had to choose, I'm taking Denver. Now we're on to our Christmas Day. Very special day. I'm looking forward to Christmas. I'm probably going to have a special video later in the week. Probably on Saturday, I think, maybe. Where I'm going to do a special little Christmas edition video. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and shed something out. If you guys haven't seen my bowl video, it was kind of funny. I was miserable the entire time after something that happened in the middle. If you watch it, you would probably know. But I was miserable for the entire rest of the video after I did something. You can probably figure out what it is by just watching it. So just go ahead and watch it. I've been told it was hilarious. So just go ahead and watch it. It was a great one. So starting the Christmas Day at 1 o'clock, it is the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Las Vegas did have a pretty good day last week, I would say, on Thursday Night Football after blowing out the Chargers. 63-21, I believe the score was. They blew them out of the water. I said the Raiders, but they blew way out of proportion on who I thought was going to win that one. I am taking Kansas City, though. I think the Chiefs might just want it just a little more on this one. They probably just do want it just a bit more because they're still pushing for that number 1 seed. I don't think they're going to get it, but they're just pushing just a little bit harder. So I think Kansas City does, in fact, beat Las Vegas. Next up, we have the 4 o'clock game of Christmas Day. It's the New York Giants against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles need to get going. They need to find something. If they lose to the Giants, their season's over. I'm going to say, if they lose to the Giants, season's over. I'm picking Philadelphia, but that's just like a little wake up to those Eagles fans. If they lose, it's done. They're staying no chance. They've lost, 3 straight now? Like Seattle, Dallas, San Francisco. They got to start going. The lack of effort that Philadelphia has put into these last few games is kind of embarrassing. It's pretty embarrassing. And at least they're admitting it. Like, they're admitting, oh, yeah, we played badly. We were bad. Like, they're admitting it. And, I mean, for having a 10-4 record, they sure are not putting any effort into trying to win the division. They're in the wild card now because they lost to Dallas. Like, they got to start stepping up their game, and it all starts with the game here against Dallas. I think if they lose, they're done. Their Super Bowl chances go, woo, pretty much. But I do think that if they win, they're probably more back in the way. So this is a must-win for Philly in my book. Next up, we have the game of the week by far. And you might be thinking, I thought that was Dallas-Miami. Wrong. The number 1 seeds face off in a potential Super Bowl sneak peek, if you will. We have the Baltimore Ravens against the San Francisco 49ers. So I actually heard something. Someone talked about this on an ESPN show, and they were talking about how no one's talking about the Ravens. No one's talking about them. They're just going, oh, the Ravens, yeah, they're there. You know, everyone else is like, they're the number 1 seed, but who cares? I think the Ravens have a really good shot this year. They're in a tough AFC with a tough division. They have a tough couple of games coming up. I mean, they got to beat the adversity on that one. Because that's the kind of stuff, like, if they're getting all agitated that they're 6.5-point underdogs against San Francisco, so what? Live up to it. Man up, Baltimore. 6.5 points underdogs. Show them that San Francisco is supposed to be the 6.5. Don't care about what the line is. Like, that kind of a little bothers me a little. Don't care. Like, I get it. Oh, we're 6.5-point underdogs. Cool. Let's go show them that they were the ones who were the 6.5-point underdogs in the first place. Go show them. You could blabber on about it all you want if you're Baltimore. Oh, you guys, I mean, they're right. No one's talking about how Baltimore's the number 1 seed in the AFC. They're wrong about saying, oh, we deserve better, we're the number 1 seed, we've done so much to work on, because guess what, Baltimore? You're not the best until you prove it. They haven't proved it yet. To be the best, you got to do something called winning the Super Bowl, which they haven't done yet. They haven't done that. So until they do something actually worth everyone's second glance, like winning the Super Bowl, making a deep run into the playoffs, the Cinderella story, beating the 49ers on Monday Night Football, the Jaguars played terribly. Woohoo, they beat the Jaguars. But if you're up against San Francisco, you beat the NFC's number 1 seed. Go ahead and show us that you can do that. If you want to prove your point, don't just cry about it. Just go ahead and do it. So, anyway, they are taking San Francisco. It's Baltimore and San Francisco. I'm not sure who to pick. I mean, it's 50-50 in my book. I mean, after all of I've been doing just in these last minute, just roasting on Baltimore, I think I'm going to pick San Francisco. I think the 49ers come up with the win in this one. I'm going to end up regretting this, but I'm taking the 49ers on my pick. I am very much going to regret saying that. But anyway, that is all the picks of this weekend. Don't forget to check out that bowl games video. It's live down on my channel right now. So just click that little green thing that has the little playbook. It'll send you to my channel, and you can check out that bowl game video. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notifications every time one of these videos come out. Like, comment down below if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next video.